Hi there, I'm Kayvon. I've spoken before, but I'm a different part of Kayvon. I'm one of the primary alters that dealt with the torture, the physical torture of MK Ultra trauma. I don't speak much, but I'm starting to integrate, so I wanted to speak because now I have the capacity to, on some basic level. I grew up in MK Ultra mind control, where I was subjected to a variety of torture techniques, including virtual reality torture, which is perhaps the worst, because it enables a person to do virtually anything to another human being without leaving external physical marks. With a combination of virtual reality technology and understanding of how mirror neurons work, the neurophysiology of witnessing severe trauma done against others while in dissociative and certain types of drugged states, victims can be forced to literally physically experience the pain of the person undergoing trauma in front of them. With virtual reality tech and hypnosis, you can convince a person, in conjunction with this technology, with these abilities, that they are physically enduring whatever they had witnessed being done. And with the forcible creation of dissociative identity disorder, you can make sure that the person doesn't remember ever witnessing that thing. In fact, that the person has no cognizance of anything outside of the torture. They wake up not even knowing that they were ever asleep, not even knowing who they were, and they're in a virtual reality simulation, undergoing the worst fathomable physical torture, only to wake up into a different dissociative part, having all of their body parts still intact. One can go through this over and over and over again, thousands of hours of amputations, gougings, burnings, dissolutions in acid, eviscerations, and things that you couldn't even physically do to a person outside of programming. For example, breaking down every point of body consciousness in their body, down to the tiniest imaginable little point of consciousness, and burning each one individually. Programming the person's consciousness to fit a grid system in which each point is a coordinate, and each coordinate ends up representing a dissociative part that fragmented. This went hand in hand with my programming as an exponential programmed slave. Yes, I have all 4 limbs. No, if you do basic tests on my body, you won't even necessarily think anything's wrong with me. But I have, in essence, had my arms and legs cut off several thousand times in a row, continuously reliving this pain in the monarch programming, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. I have been dissolved in every form of acid-like substance imaginable. And more. But I can still talk and I can still integrate because I'm strong. I deprogram myself because I'm capable. Anyone who believes my story impossible has no clue the horrors human beings are capable of, and simultaneously the resilience and strength that human beings are capable of as well. For as horrible as MK Ultra is, its victims are strong. Not every victim is like me, and that they can break free. I want you to ask yourself, before you judge people on television, people whose political ideals represent that which you despise, people who say and do things that are vile to you in the public eye. I want you to ask yourself how you would feel about them if you knew that in that moment they were experiencing the pain of burning in 1,000 fires, having every piece of inner body consciousness dissolved in hydrochloric acid, and watching their own children get murdered in front of them that you have no idea they ever had. Imagine that they'd been raped by both of their parents and forced to eat their own feces as a small child for adults' entertainment. Because those things are true about a lot of the people you see on television. Those things are true for a lot of the people you see in politics. I'm not saying everyone you'll ever see on television or on the public eye has been through these things, but a good fucking percentage of who's out there in the spotlight is monarch programmed. And monarch survivors go through these things. Maybe not everyone has been through the exact same horror as the next guy, but we, monarch survivors, go through these things. Our bodies are burned in acid, and then we cannot fucking tell anyone about it or get any fucking help because our bodies are still there. But due to VR tech, due to mirror programming, mirror neuron programming manipulation, nervous system manipulation, hypnotic programming and the like, we know what it's like to burn to death over and over and over again with no seeming end. You may ask yourself how that could be possible, how people could still be standing and talking. Monarch program is a powerful thing. If you haven't experienced it, I don't think you can imagine just how much it can do to mask a person's horror, to mask a person's torture, and make them appear functional to the public eye. But I guarantee you, a good fucking percentage of the people you see on TV tonight, if you turn it on, are likely monarch programmed. So I just ask you to think before you judge. This is a very difficult political time in this world. Horrible things are going on, as they always have. But it's particularly dangerous nowadays, given the tech that we have available at our disposal. And because of the fear, the terror of living in a world like this, at this time, I think a lot of us, as human beings, especially those who are exposed to fear-mongering media, are likely to go into the juvenile practice of pointing the finger and blaming others. That's not going to get you anywhere. That's not going to solve your problems. Empathy will.